It's that time of the year again. It's Christmas. And to celebrate the most wonderful time of the year, I'm gonna give you my 10 favorite Christmas movies. Hello everyone, welcome back to another top 10 list by J Mayer. And this time I'm gonna talk about my personal favorite Christmas movies. Yes, it's that time of the year again. The most wonderful time of the year. It's Christmas. Well, it's at least the Christmas time. We are very close to Christmas. And because it's Christmas, I thought this is the perfect time to talk about some Christmas movies. And why not share my favorite Christmas movies with you? And I have selected some 10 favorite Christmas movies of all time. These are really my personal favorites. These are really Christmas movies that I can consider annual watches for sure. And I'm also gonna give some 5 honorable mentions. And I love Christmas movies. Christmas movies, they always give me a good feeling, no matter what genre they have, because Christmas movie is basically a genre on sich, but they are also very varied. Most Christmas movies are family movies or comedies or really feel good movies, but you also have action Christmas movies, you have horror Christmas movies. So a big variation of Christmas genre movies, and that's what I really like. If you are in the mood for an action movie, but you still want to have that Christmas feeling, it's possible. Same with horror, same with comedy. You have it with a Christmas movie. And like I said, I have 5 honorable mentions, and let's start with 2 of them that are really childhood nostalgia movies for me. And the first one is The Grinch. The version with Jim Carrey as the Grinch. I really love this movie. This is a really fun movie. I saw it many times as a kid. Other movie that I saw many times as a kid is The Polar Express. That's an animation movie directed by Robert Zemeckis with Tom Hanks. A really fascinating animation movie, a great adventure. Really love The Polar Express. My third honorable mention is the most recent Christmas movie, I believe, and that's The Holdovers with Paul Giamatti. And I really love this movie because it's a movie with the heart on the right place. But also a fourth honorable mention is a Christmas horror movie, and that's Black Christmas from 2006. This is the remake of the 70s classic. That's a movie you're definitely gonna see in my top 10. But I also really love the 2006 remake. Not the one from 2019, that was a piece of crap. But 2006 remake was really amazing actually. I really like the style, I really like the more gory approach on the story, so decent remake. Definitely worth an honorable mention. And my last honorable mention is Batman Returns. Like I said, big variation of Christmas movies. We even have a superhero movie set during the holidays. It's amazing. I really love Batman Returns, one of my favorite Tim Burton movies, and definitely my favorite Batman movie from those first 4 movies. Really love Batman Returns. Great movie. Couldn't make it to the top 10. But what really did make my top 10 is at number 10, The Santa Claus. And The Santa Claus is also one of my childhood Christmas movies. I really love The Santa Claus. It's about this man, a father who is turning into the Santa Claus. It was really fascinating. But what really makes this movie amazing is the whole relationship of the father and the son in this one. The father, played by Tim Allen, who is, I believe, recently divorced, and he really wants to do good for his son, but he does not always be successful at it until he becomes the Santa Claus, and he really enforces his relationship with his son, and that's just a beautiful story in this movie. And this movie really feels Christmassy, you know. This is a really cool Christmas movie. At number 9 we have, I believe, a classic in the Christmas movies, and that's Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. And lately, since last year I'm really in a Home Alone 2 phase. Like in the past, I always thought that Home Alone 2 was not as great as the first one. It was the lesser movie. Does everything the same, but not as good as the first one. Still believe the first one is the better movie. But now I'm really loving Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. It's also a very great Christmas movie. Yes, it's kinda the same, but now in New York, but I really love this movie now. I love the whole fact that Kevin is lost in New York, great setting, the friendship he builds with his lady in the park, with the pigeons, and then the third act with all those amazing traps again to the thieves, played excellent by Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci. So, Home Alone 2, I always thought less of it, but it's actually a great Christmas movie. It's one of my favorites now. And number 8 we have A Christmas Carol movie from the Muppets. Yes, there are a lot of Christmas Carol movies. I haven't seen all of them. Really love the Jim Carrey one as well. But the Muppets A Christmas Carol is by far my favorite of this story. It's a story by Charles Dickens about Ebenezer Scrooge, a man who absolutely hates Christmas, and he gets visited by three ghosts to give him that Christmas spirit again. It's a really cool story. I really love this story, and the Muppet movie really did it well. Really loved how this Christmas Carol story is into the Muppet world, and Michael Caine, who plays Scrooge in this one, does a fantastic job. It's a great Christmas movie. At number 7, we have Die Hard 2. Yes, this is a Christmas movie. It's taking place on Christmas Eve, so I count it as a Christmas movie. And a bit like Home Alone 2, I really am in a phase of loving Die Hard 2. Like Die Hard 2, I always thought less of it because it's not as good as the first Die Hard. Die Hard, the first one is still the better one, but I really starting to love Die Hard 2 as well the last few years. Like since 2020, it really became an annual watch for me to watch on Christmas Eve or around that period, and I really love Die Hard 2. It's John McClane is back. This time he's stuck on an airport on Christmas Eve. But once again, there are criminals who wants to do nasty things on this airport, and John McClane has to save the day. And it's an amazing action movie taking place on Christmas Eve. So it's definitely worth my 7th place. At number 6, we have probably the most definitive Christmas movie of all time, Home Alone. Yes, this is the Christmas classic. This is the movie that's every year on television. I watch it every year, like many others do probably. Home Alone is amazing. This is probably the first movie you think about if you think on Christmas movies, and with every right to be. Home Alone is just amazing. It's a great family movie. It has some great comedy. It's actually a movie in which every scene is iconic. I really believe that, and it's really cool to see this little kid Kevin, to see him all by himself at his home, trying to survive basically. Also really nice that he builds this friendship with his neighbor. Really nice to see. And then third act with all those amazing traps against the thieves, played again by Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern. Amazing Christmas movie. At number 5 we have my favorite Christmas horror movie of all time, and that's Black Christmas from 1974. A Canadian slasher film, and I love slasher films. And it is definitely one of the best slasher films ever made. Has a great atmospheric, even a great Christmas atmospheric. Only now not really a good times, but more bloody times. Really loving the pace of it. Great, nice characters. Great kills. Really nice horror movie set during Christmas. And then number 4, kinda have a special movie, and that's Hugo by Martin Scorsese. Now, this movie is not really set during the Christmas days, during the holidays, though it has really that snowy vibe. really has snowy landscapes, but it's not really set during Christmas or not really Christmassy. But still, I still associated this film with Christmas, and I really think this film has a Christmas spirit. It's about this great adventure about these two kids in Paris in the train station. They're going on an adventure, and it's just great. The two kids played perfectly by Asa Butterfield and Chloe Grace Moretz, and it's Martin Scorsese's love letter to cinema. But I always see it as a Christmas movie. When it's Christmas, I always have a desire to watch Hugo. So for me, it's a Christmas movie. At number 3, we have Die Hard. Also, I really believe it's considered a Christmas classic. Also a Bruce Willis film, an action film, but also 100% Christmas movie. It's taking place on Christmas Eve, and we have this amazing character, John McClane, who has to deal with a lot of criminals taking over a building, the workplace where his wife is working. So John McClane has to save the day. This is one of the best action movies ever made. John McClane is one of the best action characters ever, and it really has that Christmas vibe that I really love about it. So Die Hard, amazing movie. And number 2, we have Gremlins. Yeah, I love Gremlins. This is one of those 80s movies, 80s classic, and it's a Christmas movie. It really feels Christmassy. It takes place on Christmas, and I loved it as a child. I'm still watching it, still loving it. I am a big Gremlins fan, and I really love these creatures, especially the Mogwai, the cute ones. As a kid, I always wanted a Mogwai. They are just the cutest, and Gremlins, it's a great Christmas movie. It's a great movie to watch during Christmas, and it's a bit dark sometimes. It goes to the horror sometimes, but not really big horror, gory horror. It's still a fun family-friendly horror film, and I love Gizmo. I love Gremlins so much that I called my dog Gizmo. Yes, my dog is called Gizmo. He's also cute. But seeing I love Gremlins so much, it's not my favorite Christmas movie. There is one Christmas movie that I watch every year. For many years now, it's my favorite Christmas movie. It's my ultimate Christmas movie, and that's Bad Santa from 2003. It's 20 years old now, and maybe not the usual pick at number 1 Christmas movie, but this is my list. It's a subjective list, and Bad Santa, I always love this movie. It's about a mall Santa, Willy, played by Billy Bob Thornton. He's basically a drunk asshole, and every year he goes to a mall and plays this really bad Santa, and together with his partner in crime, played by Tony Cox, he robs the mall at Christmas Eve. And that's what they do every single year. But this year is different. Willy meets this kid, a kid that is very bullied actually. It's a bit socially awkward, but they really form a friendship, and I really love the movie for the friendship that these two form. It's just a very special relationship, and especially what Willy does for this kid at the end of the movie makes this movie one of the greatest, for me the greatest Christmas movie ever. So Bad Santa is my favorite. So guys, this was my top 10 favorite Christmas movies. I hope you like my list. Always be free to give your favorite Christmas movies below in the comments. We'd really love to know which ones are your favorites. And if you want to see more rankings or top 10s in the future from me, always be free to subscribe to my channel. Until the next time.